this vehicle accident in the southwest Missouri.
We've still got some showers lingering out there, a little bit of fog, more showers on the way later. We're going to break down your forecast coming up.
Joplin's newest elementary school is about to open. The details when you can get a look inside.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
WNBA star Brittany Griner is on a plane on her way back home to the U.S. after being detained in Russia for the last 9 months. Thank you for joining us for KOAM News at Noon. I am Amber Jenkins. The Biden administration negotiated a deal to bring Griner home in exchange for a convicted Russian arms dealer being held in the U.S. Deva Alafoni has more.
Sherelle Griner stood by the president this morning as he announced her wife, Brittany Griner, has been released from a Russian prison and is coming home.
Over the last 9 months, you all have been so privy to one of the darkest moments of my life. And so today I'm just standing here overwhelmed with emotions.
Just moments earlier, she and President Biden spoke with Brittany, who was released in the UAE as part of a prisoner swap.
I'm glad to be able to say that Brittany's in good spirits. She's relieved to finally be heading home.
Griner was arrested February 17th at a Moscow airport with less than a gram of cannabis oil and later sentenced to 9 years in prison. In exchange for Griner, the U.S. released Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, who is serving a 25-year sentence for conspiring to kill Americans by selling weapons to terrorists. While the celebrations for Griner's release are just beginning, they are tempered by the fact that former Marine Paul Whelan, he was not part of this deal. He remains behind bars in Russia.
This was not a choice of which American to bring home. We brought home Trevor Reed when we had a chance early this year. Sadly, for totally illegitimate reasons, Russia is treating Paul's case differently than Brittany's.
Whelan's brother issued a statement expressing joy for Griner's family, but added, "How do you continue to survive day after day when you know that your government has failed twice to free you from a foreign prison? I can't imagine he retains any hope that a government will negotiate his freedom at this point."
We'll keep negotiating in good faith for Paul's release. I guarantee that. I say that to the family. I guarantee you.
Whelan has already served nearly 4 years in prison on espionage charges, which the U.S. calls false. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
Here in the 4 states, Joplin police are investigating a deadly pedestrian versus vehicle crash. It happened along Missouri 171 near Sweet Lane. Corporal Sean Higgins said the woman was hit while trying to cross the highway. That woman is now identified as 22-year-old Cheyenne Funk of Joplin. Funk was declared dead at the scene. Investigators said the driver of the vehicle involved was not impaired. Joplin school officials are preparing for the opening of the city's new elementary school. On January 4th, students from West, Central, and Columbia Elementaries will move into the new building on North Main. Before class resumes following the holiday break, the public will get a look inside. Joplin schools are hosting an open house from 5 until 7 p.m. on January 3rd. A ribbon cutting ceremony is scheduled for later in January. A bridge project in northwest of Oswego is finally complete. The Labette Creek Bridge on US 59 is slated to reopen late today. The Kansas Department of Transportation says the bridge will open by 5 p.m. Drivers had to avoid this area since late March when the project got underway. The rain just keeps on coming. Chris Roner is tracking the mist that becomes showers.
Yeah, we've been dealing with some fog. We've been dealing with the mist and drizzle, or as I heard one weather person put it once, as mizzle throughout the day. You can see it's a little foggy, a little drizzly out there. Roads are still damp here on I-44 and still so inside the city limits as well at 7th and Range Line. We're still quite cloudy out there, and we're supposed to hit a normal high of about 50. Our normal low is 30. We're going to be above both of those for the time being. Coming next week, though, we have some pretty big changes behind a cold front. We still have scattered showers out there. And when I say scattered, I really mean isolated to widely scattered showers out there. It is keeping temperatures down under the cloud cover, but those that have seen a little peak of sunshine are a pinch warmer. So we go from 48 Yates Center, 50 Chanute Parsons, 53 Chetopa, 54 in Miami. Then we get down to 57 in Neosho and Anderson. And in Joplin right now, we are sitting at 55 degrees. And as we mentioned, we have those cloudy skies to contend with. Now, we could still see a few peaks of sun out there, and so with that said, we could still warm up a little bit. And then, take a look. Shower chances begin to pick up yet again later this evening. We'll break that down for you as well. For the rest of the day, we're still looking for a high right around 61 in Joplin of the isolated to widely scattered showers out there, but they will eventually go away before we see another system bringing more rain chances to the area. And honestly, we do need the rain. I know it's been dreary for a while, but the 4 states definitely needs this rain. And we've got a lot more of it on the way. We're going to break down your full forecast here in just a couple of minutes. Amber?
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. Joplin police are looking for the culprits behind multiple break-ins at a Rangeline convenience store. Investigators say they believe it is the same people breaking into Zip's convenience store. It happened twice in the last 3 days. In this security cam video, you can see 2 men and a woman break doors and windows and steal items. If you have any information, call the Joplin Police Department. The number of pet scams have dropped, but that's not all good news. According to the Better Business Bureau, the amount of money lost to those scams are increasing. Pet scams losses are expected to reach at least $2 million in North America. Consumers affected by a pet scam lost an average of $850 each this year. The BBB recommends going to a local animal shelter or a pet stores because you can actually see the pet before you buy it. A lot of 4-staters rely on food banks, and this time of year, budgets can be tight. One of the area food pantries are partnering with our Feed the 4 States campaign in the Wesley House in Pittsburgh. The Wesley House is one of the food pantries in Crawford County, serving more than 5,000 residents.
This is always a time we usually see more engagement across our food pantry services because folks are hosting more, or they're thinking of those that are in need as well.
You can give a monetary donation to our Feed the 4 States campaign online at koamnewsnow.com/feed, or all day today you can call 1-888-620-4869 to donate. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in your first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, lawmakers in Washington, D.C. are rushing to the government to open and fund the military. We'll tell you about some roadblocks they're dealing with. And later, we're making the perfectly proportioned main dish in Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The clock is ticking for Congress to pass 2 massive spending bills. Amy Cowley reports both of them just hit some snags.
It's that time of year again, when Congress tends to rush to fund the government. This year, 2 major spending bills are hitting snags with the clock ticking.
What we've been told is the NDA that has come out of the House will have language to do partially what we wanted to have happen.
The House had been expected to take up the National Defense Authorization Act this week, but Republicans now say their support hinges on ending the military's vaccine mandate.
It would impact the readiness of the force. You're more prone to getting COVID-19.
The White House says President Joe Biden wants to keep the requirement, but asked if he'd sacrifice it for the must-pass bill.
There's still a process going, a legislative process going. Don't want to get ahead of that.
Meanwhile, funding for the broader federal government could expire next week. Funding it for the whole fiscal year would require wide-ranging compromise fast.
For us to reach an omnibus agreement would only require the Democrats to move to a position closer to ours.
Turn left, Republicans. Or at least don't turn hard right.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says the country might have to settle for a short-term bill that lasts just into the new year.
When frankly the Republicans have the House of Representatives and will have a stronger hand at the bargaining table.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
After 317 days, the statewide gas price average in Missouri is below $3 a gallon. That's according to AAA. Now, the statewide average is $2.89, down from just over $3 last week. AAA says the average price per gallon for the Joplin area dropped 12 cents this week. It is now down to $2.70. The national average remains above $3 at $3.33. If you have Disney Plus subscription, the monthly price is going up. Starting today, the ad-free membership to this video streaming site is going up $3 a month if you want to avoid ads. The premium subscription costs $10.99 a month. The annual plans are $110. However, there is a new basic plan that will cost you $7.99 a month, but will also include ads. The other downside of the basic plan is that you cannot download programs to watch offline. You will be able to do that with the premium plan. Still to come at KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
This year, why not shake things up by serving everyone their very own perfectly sized main dish? Any ideas to what we're making?
Well, we've got an idea as to what we're expecting weather-wise. It's some more rainfall and cloudy weather. We'll break down your full forecast next. We've been cloudy throughout the day today and even had some drizzle across the area and even some fog out there. And we're not quite done with the showers just yet. We're getting a little break with just some drizzle across the area and some isolated to widely scattered shower activity that you can see on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. But there's going to be a slight increase in shower activity a little later this evening. Now, for right now, again, we just got the widely scattered showers out there. The bulk of the rain has now moved on off to our southeast as this wave gets on out of here. But it has left behind, as you can see, I-44, still some wet spots out there from the MoDOT camera at that location. And as we take a look at the future track on the short term, this is what I'm talking about, how we're not quite done with the showers yet. This is 3:30. You see a few more of them starting to pop up out there. And as we head into the evening, there's even more of them. And then by the time we get to about 7, 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to see quite a few more, especially along and east of 69. And then eventually this will all clear out of here and we'll be left a little bit on the dry side heading into tonight. So rain chances, again, they're pretty low now. We're just getting a random shower here or there. But as we head into the evening, especially right around 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we start to see those chances increase just a bit. And then they'll taper back off again as this wave moves on out of here. 7th and Range line, roads are still wet down there as well. So, of course, be careful. Slick roads, you know, they can be a bit on the hazardous side. Warming up, though, a bit despite the cloud cover. 55 in Joplin right now. South breeze at 5. And across the region, some of us have seen a little bit drier conditions, a little bit more patches of sunlight getting in, so we're a little bit warmer. We've got 50 Neodesha, Chanute, Parsons, Pittsburgh, 51 Lamar, a little cooler up north, 47 Iola, 48 Fort Scott, Nevada, and then you head south, and we've got 54 Miami, 57 Neosho, and 57 down in Anderson. As we go through today, believe it or not, we're still looking at making a high right around 61 degrees, and then we'll see the shower chances increase, but thanks to the clouds, temperatures are going to kind of hover for a little bit. As we head into tonight, this is correct, but that isn't, and neither is the rain. It's not going to be raining tonight. This is what happens when you don't hit save after you change all of it. We'll start to drop back down because we'll see mostly cloudy skies, which means some of that blanket will erode and it'll get a little bit cooler as we head into the evening. Now these rain chances, once they exit out, we're not fully done with rain and possibly thunderstorm chances. So again, we head into tonight. Here's those additional showers. They clear out. They give us a break on Friday. It will be mostly cloudy, partly cloudy, a little bit cooler, but not bad. Then as we head into Saturday, we get more heavy rain starting to build in early in the morning. Could even have a rumble of thunder or two out there. And by about noon or so on Saturday, that system kicks on out of here. And by Sunday, we're left with some partly to mostly cloudy skies again, a pinch on the warmer side. Then we head into next week, and next week is when things really start to change. We start to see some showers scattered around the area on Monday, and as we head into Tuesday, that's where we're looking at some thunderstorm chances. So we got 56 on Friday, 53 Saturday, rain the first half of the day, 57 Sunday, 62 by Monday. Then we have Tuesday. Tuesday's when a cold front is expected to come through here, and it's going to bring us some thunderstorm chances. Now, there's some indications that some of those storms could be strong to severe. We're going to keep an eye on that for you, but one way or another, we're getting some storms on Tuesday, and that cold front really tanks the temperatures too. After that, we drop back through the 40s into the 30s by the end of next week, and these decent overnight lows we've been having, they drop below freezing as we head into the latter half of next week as well. So definitely a potent system on Tuesday, and we'll keep an eye on those thunderstorm chances for you as well.
Thank you, Chris. We take this time to honor today's fourth state hero. Today's hero is Roy Cash II from Neodesha, Kansas. He served in the Navy several times over the years, including Vietnam, Desert Storm, and in 2001 through 2002. We thank you, Roy Cash II, our fourth state hero. How about a delicious dish that your guests won't have to share with anybody else? Howard is roasting up Cornish hens in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
This year, why not shake things up at your next dinner party or Christmas dinner by serving everyone their very own perfectly sized main dish? It's something that my mom used to make, and to this day, I still love it. I'm talking about individual roasted Cornish hens. Not only do they look special, but they're super flavorful and so easy to make. In case you're not familiar with Cornish hens, they're basically a cousin to the chicken, only smaller and more tender. Each one's about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds. To make them, all we do is stuff each one with a wedge of lemon and some fresh rosemary. Then we tuck the wings back, like this, and tie, or as it's officially called, truss, the legs together with some butcher twine. Now we place them in a roasting pan on a rack, season them with some olive oil and a bit of salt and pepper, and add garlic cloves all around it. Then we pour a mixture over them that we made by mixing together some Dijon mustard, white wine, and chicken broth. And then into the oven they go. After roasting for about an hour with lots of basting throughout, they're done. Talk about one of the juiciest holiday main dishes you've ever tasted. And since everyone gets their very own, it looks even more la-di-da. To get the recipe for our lemon rosemary roasted Cornish hens, head over to our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a perfectly sized way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
More showers later this evening. We get a break in the rain Friday, some showers for the first half of your Saturday, another break on Sunday, and then we are watching that cold front with the thunderstorm chances on Tuesday. After that, it gets cold. Temperatures drop back down to 48 by next Wednesday.
What's going on at 5 now?
Well, a lot of 5 for starters, but just a few weeks to go before the end of 2022. It's time to make smart money moves right now. Find out the tips to maximize your pre-tax retirement plan contributions. Plus, the investigation into the Southwest Missouri McDonald's robbery leads to more arrests in connection to other robberies. And an agency wants to hear from Northeast Oklahoma residents about flooding issues and concerns. Hope you join us for those stories, a whole lot more, of course. It's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Thank you for joining us today at KOAM at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.